a visiting professor in Warwick University in the UK. I'm also a visiting professor in Stellenbosch University in South Africa. I'm a director in 3 companies. I'm a life mentor. I'm a coach. I'm a learner and a knowledge transmitter. And today is my pleasure to have all of you. It's really an honor to have all of you right here to listen on some of the great knowledge that you can acquire as you embark on every journey of your life. It's refreshing to see most of the great men, colleagues, learned colleagues who are also here. There are 2 categories of people who are right here. And please, if you have a pen and paper, put some of the things down because it will elevate you. There are 2 categories of people who are here. They are looking at me. Some are listening to me. I've just been notified that there are some people in the YouTube. So I want to quickly take this opportunity to welcome those of you in YouTube. If you are there, you got Henry Beer in the YouTube, William Nkrumah. Oh, wow. You've got quite a number of people in YouTube. Henry Pano, you've got Sophia Intrede from London, and you've got quite a number of other people from YouTube. So those of you in YouTube, I'm looking at you here. Can I appreciate your presence here? If you can later hear me, I know YouTube is a few seconds behind. If you can acknowledge yourself there, I will later come. Desmond Wally, okay, from Rita and several other people in the YouTube. It's a pleasure to have all of you here, okay? It's a joy to have all of you here. All right, so let's begin. Let's begin so that we will be able to end quickly. Like I said, please take a pen and follow me. You might want to write things. So there are 2 categories of people listening to me now. One, some are listening, some are hearing me. Research shows that 80% are hearing me. They are not listening to me. What is the difference? What is the difference between hearing and listening? Ladies and gentlemen, hearing is your body's ability to perceive sound, noise, and tones. So some people are hearing me talk, but they have their mobile phones there, they have their television there, they have something there, they have some distracting force there. So they are not really listening. What is listening? Listening is your mental capacity to record sound and to pay attention or to consider the sound. So hearing is physiological. It's a physiological process. Now, listening is a psychological process. Until what you hear becomes a picture, you can't practice. Until what you hear becomes a picture, you can't practice. And that is what we mean by you listen. So please, whatever you are doing, I am begging you to have this time for me. Pay more than the usual attention you've ever paid in your life and listen to me, because what I'm about to share with you, it can make your mind turn and you will see your own greatness you've never seen before. Okay. So please don't be a hearer, be a listener. Be a listener, and please listen to me as much as you can. Listen to me as much as you can. All right. You are more powerful than you know. Every one of us here is, that is why we all have different DNA. My DNA is different from your DNA because we are equally powerful. Every man is born in the nature of God. And every man has nuggets of creativity within him. God created us all here so that we can be creators by default. Please note, God is a creator. You too, you are a creator. The only difference between your creation and God's creation is that God's creation is capital C. Your creation is small c. Humanity, therefore, is predicated on divinity. And you see, if you take away the divine nature from you, human nature becomes nothing. When you look at the greatness of the universe, who do you think about? You think about the great God who made it. Now, for some of us, probably we may not know the greatness of the universe. Let me share some tips with you. At least 50 billion galaxies exist. Some of the galaxies you know are the Milky Way galaxy, the Andromeda galaxy. These are galactic forces in the universe. There are 50 billion of them. The one we live in is known as the Milky Way galaxy. There are 100 billion stars in our Milky Way galaxy right now. 100 billion stars. Now, what is a star? Well, the sun is a star. The sun is one of the smallest stars, and there are 100 billion stars in our Milky Way galaxy. The Earth, as we know it, 1.3 million of the Earth can fit the sun that we see. Now, let me take it again. 1.3 million of the Earth can fit the sun. So what would you think is the greatness of the one who made the sun? Because you need 1.3 million Earths to enter into the sun. That greater person is the creator, and he made you. He made you. So just like when you look at the skyscraper, you know the Burj Khalifa. The Burj Khalifa is somewhere in Dubai. It's the tallest building in the world. When you think of the tallest building in the world, who do you think about? Do you look at the Burj Khalifa, or you think of the great mind that conceived that great Burj Khalifa? Is it not the person who made the Burj Khalifa you should really see great than the Burj Khalifa? Because the Burj Khalifa was created in the mind of a human being, a creator with a small c. You are that person. Ladies and gentlemen, you are that creator. You are the one who created that Burj Khalifa. You don't know? You are the one. But the question is, do you believe you are the one? Please look at the scripture in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. I want to share something with you, and this time I want to go to Google and just type that there. Okay, let's just go to Google and just type that, because today I want to just espouse some things that will show your greatness and your power and your magnificence. Okay, so I just want to type that here. Okay, I want to type Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Okay. I don't know whether you can see it, but I want to believe and hope you can see it. And this is God talking in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. I'm just picking it from any scripture. This is a New International. It says that then God said, let us make mankind in our image. Or in another way, let us make man in our image. Now remember, two people, but somebody is talking to somebody. Let us make man in our image. Now listen up. This is a very powerful statement. I won't lie to you. In other words, let us make someone like us, Abby, who can multiply what we have created, Abby. That is what God is saying. Let us make someone like us. Now watch it. He says, let us make another us. Someone that functions like us. And whom did they make? Adam, you, and I. So by this, man shared God's invisible attributes. So if God is an intellectual being, it means man too is what? An intellectual being. If God has the capacity for rational thought, it means man has capacity for rational thought. If God has free will, man has free will. Now listen to this. If God has creativity, man has creativity. If God is love, man is loving. And so we are a kind of complete replica of the God. So if God can create, you too can what? Can create. In that sense, ladies and gentlemen, the multiplicities of human endeavors, the multiplicities of human endeavors are all the creative elements of God. The multiplicities of the creative human endeavors are all acts of God. So if you can make a car, that car you are making is because you have the creative power of God in you. If you can build a house, if you can create a beautiful vacation resort, if you can have a family time, it's a creative activity. If you can have an education, learn. If you can have a business, run. if you can have the desire to look good, to feel good, it is the creative activity of God that you have. If you can invest and become whatever you want to become, it is the creative activity of God. Any perversion of creativity for evil is an anti-humanity because it is anti-divinity. I want to repeat that because this is deep. Any creativity, any perversion of creativity, if you perverse any creativity for evil ends, that is anti-humanity because it is anti-divinity. It's not divine because God's intention is to uplift you and I, is to uplift mankind. So human power, whatever power you have, therefore is to uplift creation. So if you tell me that you have power, you have incredible power, Master, you must uplift creation. You must create something. Knowing who you are is what creates what you become. Please, if you are taking notes, put that thing down because I'll come back to that. Knowing who you are is what creates who you become. It is critical for you to know who you are. Because see, who you are is very powerful. Who you are now, right now, who you are is powerful. But listen, what you are becoming is even more powerful. What you are becoming. See, while who you are is your nature, what you are becoming is your manifestation. Because you can be 30 years like somebody else is 30 years. You're all 30 years. You have all been to the same school. But what you are becoming can make people like you than that person. Bill Gates might be a certain age, like every African, every European. The age is the same, but he has become something. So even if you go and name your child Bill Gates, it doesn't mean that that child is more powerful. He is powerful, but he is not more powerful. Because he has not created, he has not manifested. And that is what my learned mentor will say. Okay, if you want to see your future through a crystal ball, look at the quality of your daily activities, ladies and gentlemen. That is the measure for your future. Okay, look at the quality of who you are becoming. That is the image of your future. In other words, and this is deep before I go to the real time, I'm not started. In other words, I can tell you that whilst what you are is your nature, what you are becoming is your righteousness. You see, if you act on the premise of God's word, it's creativity when you do that. And that is the meaning of righteousness. So there's a difference between surviving and thriving. Okay, surviving and thriving. You might see that on the screen. To survive in life, as a human being, you have to take care of yourself. But to thrive as a human being, you develop yourself to take care of other things and other people. And so while nature has given man forest, okay, we all have forest, it is man's duty through his ingenuity and wisdom to convert that forest into what? A garden. That is what makes you a creative creator. That is what makes you the true image of God. So if you have a forest and I have a forest, the forest was given to both of us. But then if I am able to convert that forest into a garden, I am a creative creator. I am a clear definition of the true image of God. So as someone who has the nature of God, man can bring new things into existence by changing the form. You can change the form and bring new things into it. See, the greatest power is not the power to build, though. The greatest power is the power to manage your power. Please write it down. The greatest power is not a power to build, but it is the power to manage your power. You have power. Man needs to tame his creative power in order to bring out virtues rather than disasters. That is why somebody can make a bomb. Somebody can make an intercontinental ballistic Kosovoic atomic missile and use that to kill a group of people. He has creative power, but he's not managing. He's not taming that power. You are powerful. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are individually fearfully and wonderfully made. But we have to tame that power. Or somebody will not even use that power at all. That one is even worse. That is why we need to harness our power. That is why we need to learn. That is why knowledge is essential. Ladies and gentlemen, learning is at the heart of all spiritual activities. Learning. One of the greatest abilities of man is that he can learn anything. At birth, man has the nature of God, but man did not have the knowledge of God. That's deep. At birth, man has the nature of God, but he didn't have the knowledge of God. Next time in a different program, I will bring to your consciousness how to harness the 3 levels of knowledge. Revelational knowledge, theoretical knowledge, and experiential. I will teach you, okay, why and how to gain each one of these knowledge. And there are 4 processes of knowledge. Learning is one, or reading. Sometimes you call it observing. Then activity, then modeling, then teaching. Remember, knowledge is not just power. Knowledge is profit. Knowledge does not seek you. You seek knowledge. Okay, so let me go back to the learning. Through learning, a man is able to begin to believe certain things. So when you're able to learn, you are beginning to believe. Now that believing increases your understanding. Okay? And your understanding increases your knowledge. Belief comes from the outside, though. Knowing comes from the inside. So whilst your heart is a resident of beliefs, your heart is a resident of beliefs, your mind is the resident of knowledge. Your level of knowledge is based on the level of information you possess. Now, it might be a bit abstract what I'm saying, but here's the point. You have to be comfortable to review your beliefs. Beliefs about what? Beliefs about schooling. Because we all believe that to be somebody in the future, you have to go to kindergarten, go to nursery, go to kindergarten, primary school, secondary school, university. It is a belief. But you want to be comfortable to challenge that orthodoxy. You don't just take it because that is what the world is believing. 2, you have to question that we have the job you do. We have to question. The fact that everybody is doing that job, everybody is a doctor, everybody is an engineer, everybody is an accountant, everybody is a lawyer, does not mean that you got to do that. You got to question because you are a creative creator. You were created in the image of a creator. So you too, somebody has created medicine. You can also create something for the world to what? To learn. Go to question the orthodoxy about parenting. Go to question the orthodoxy about money. Go to question the orthodoxy about business. See, ladies and gentlemen, there are so many things you and I have come to meet, and we have to question and change because individually, we are all creators. We are all progenies of the Creator. Sometimes your belief is what is keeping you from moving forward in life. Sometimes that is a belief. Because there are some people, their belief is that if I get first degree, I will succeed in life. But that is keeping that person. The person will get a first degree, then you realize that, oh, no, it's not true. If I get masters, I will succeed in life. Then he gets a master's and then he's not working. Then he goes to do the final one. If I get PhD, I will succeed in life. PhD. That is permanent head damage. When the person gets that permanent head damage, okay, then the person now begins to what? Agitate for higher salaries. It's not still working. Question the orthodoxy. Question the philosophy that you came to meet. You are in the image, or you're created in the image of God. You are a creative creator. So be open-minded when it comes to things, because there's nothing like a final belief for a creator. You and I, we are creators. Okay? There's nothing like a final belief. Otherwise, you are dead. So there are 5 things we must do about our beliefs. I want to write it down. Please write it down. 5 things we have to do our beliefs. Okay? 1, explore your belief. Explore your belief. 2, create your belief. Create your belief. 3, multiply your belief. Multiply your belief. 4, remove some of your beliefs. Remove some of your, you remember some years ago, we used to think that the earth was flat. It was a strong belief. The earth was, today I'm going to share something that will blow your mind. Okay, that it was believed that the earth was standing on 4 elephants, and the 4 elephants were also standing on a big tortoise, which has been hatched from an egg. It was a belief until Isaac Newton proved otherwise, until the forces of gravity became clearer to human understanding. Knowledge espoused that. Somebody had to question the orthodoxy. The Wright brothers, okay, when they made the aeroplane, they questioned the reality. They didn't just take things as it is. I am saying that, and the last one, update your belief. Update your belief. Ladies and gentlemen, shed off your belief boundaries. Shed off your belief boundaries. Curiosity is good. When you've gotten the knowledge of God in you, when you know you are born to be a creator, then you can do anything and not to be caged by limiting beliefs. You can do anything. But you don't believe me, do you? You don't. There's somebody probably listening, the person says, what is he talking about? Listen, you don't believe that you can become anything you want to be, do you? You don't believe. You don't believe that you can do anything that you want to do. You don't believe you can earn any amount that you want to do. You don't believe. But if you know the power you possess, if you know the power you possess as a human being, you wouldn't be afraid to do anything. You will not be afraid. You will never be afraid. The world is caged. Okay, research shows that 98% of the world is caged with fear. Everybody is acting on the basis of fear. Let me remind you of a gentleman, a gentleman called Maurice Maeterlinck. That's his name. He was a Belgian playwright. He wrote a book known as The Treasure of the Humble. Maurice. Okay, if you get time, Google his name. Maurice Maeterlinck. He said this. He said that man is God afraid. Ladies and gentlemen, please listen. Man is God afraid. In other words, can it be that man is nothing but a frightened God? Man can do everything because he was created in the image of God. But is it that man is God afraid? Is it that man himself, he's afraid, and that takes him from the godship he should have? Come on, man has built a radio. Man has created a submarine. Man has built the computer. Man has created robotics, internet, rocketry, nuclear power, anti-gravity. Man has created a TV, aeroplane, free energy, hypersonic transportation. Man has created it, I'm telling you. AI, artificial intelligence, man has created it. Genetic engineering, man has created it. Nanotechnology, man has created it. Human cloning, man has done it. Hydrogen-powered gas, man has done that. COVID-19 vaccine, it came just like that. Man, within a year, has created a vaccine. Come on, man is a creator. You are a creator. Now let's go back to what Maurice Maeterlinck, Belgian playwright, what he said. He said, once the fear is gone, what remains is only God. Listen, once you take away your fear, the only thing that is left is you, God. You are God. You are God. The only thing is that it is a small gene here. You are God. You are powerful. In the African tradition, people are afraid of smaller gods because they do so many crazy things. The things that people have done in the foreign world, in the Western world, are more powerful than the juju pagan god can do. But people are not afraid of that. Take away fear of anything. You can go to the moon. Man has gone to the moon and back. See, human beings are the conduit through which God finds peace. And when you underdevelop your mind and self, you refuse to manifest the creatorship in you. So since you are born with the nature of God, but you see, you're not born with the knowledge of God. You're born with the nature of God, but not the knowledge of God. So what it means is that you don't have to stop learning knowledge. Because the day you stop learning knowledge, that is the day you die. 42% of university graduates never pick a book and read again, ever in their life after university. 42%. They stop learning. The day you stop learning, the day you learn, because remember, you're born with the nature of God, but you're not born with the knowledge of God. So knowledge can prolong your life if you learn. You can live longer if you have more knowledge. Do you know that? You don't believe it? Let me tell you, when we were children, they will tell you that when you're crossing the road, look left, look right, and then what? Look left again. Look left again. Now that second point, look left again. Do you understand what that means? Now suppose that knowledge, you did not actually gain that, and you did not convert it into wisdom. Do you know what's going to happen? You will look left, you look right. What if you don't look left again? You are dead. Knowledge can prolong your life. Knowledge can increase your lifespan. So knowledge is not just a means to life, it is life. Knowledge is life. That is why John 17 verse 3 said that, okay, we need to have knowledge because it leads to everlasting life. That is why Hosea chapter 4 verse 6 says, lack of that knowledge, people will what? Perish. When you don't progress in anything in this world, anything, you don't progress in academic life, you're not progressing in your marriage, you're not progressing in your job, you're not getting what you want in your business, you're not really doing well. If you are not progressing, it is not that you can't do it all, but that you have not learned how to use your power of creativity. And that is why you find it frustrating doing that thing. You have not learned. And I'm not talking about just learning book. See, Benjamin, when knowledge invades your being, when knowledge overtakes you, when knowledge captures you, enters into your intestines, 3 things will happen. That knowledge will expand your awareness of who you are. That knowledge will expand who you truly are and what you truly want in life. There are some people who don't even know what they want. When knowledge enters into your being, that knowledge will take away any uncertainty of the future. You will know clearly. You don't hope. You don't hope. You were created in the image of God. So God has given you that knowledge. So you acquire more of the knowledge. You don't depend on God for everything because you rely on his knowledge to do everything. But you don't depend on God to come and give you the car or the house. No, oh goodness me, you tap into the knowledge that you have acquired because you're in his image already. You possess it, but you have to deeply, when it is in your being, you see that the knowledge gives you the impetus to command and demand your worth because it's your being. And you don't understand, the knowledge is inside of you. You only have to journey with it, and then it invades you. The knowledge invades you. And when the knowledge invades you, that's it. You can do. So please make steady your lifestyle. The same way you go about shopping for clothes is the same way you should be shopping for knowledge. Every one of us here we are in a knowledge revolution environment. See, the knowledge industry produces $1 billion every day. The knowledge industry alone produces $1 billion a day. A time will be coming, what I'm teaching you now, some will have to pay for it before they will get it. Okay? Because knowledge is in continuum. And if you don't catch up to the knowledge, you become a slave. Real prosperity and wealth are the virtues that come from learning knowledge. Please write it down. Real prosperity and wealth are the virtues that come from learning knowledge. You can learn yourself out of anything in this world, I'm telling you. Anything that is currently not serving you now, you can learn yourself out of it. Anything. You can equally learn yourself, into anything you desire. Anything. You can learn yourself into it. Because see, it takes knowledge to create wealth. It takes knowledge to preserve wealth. And when I say wealth, I'm not talking about money. For those of you who listened the last time, wealth includes loyalty and integrity. Wealth includes loyalty and integrity, knowledge and wisdom, creativity, values, virtue, service, purpose, impact, and finally, money. Money is the last thing on the pyramid of wealth. I told you the other time. But when you have the knowledge, you can create your wealth, you can preserve your wealth, you can multiply your wealth, you can transfer that wealth. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because knowledge is the only asset that creates other assets. If you have anything to want to write that down. Knowledge is the only asset that creates other assets. Let me share something with you. Okay, there's something you know already. I want to share it to Proverbs chapter 24, verse 4. Okay. The reason why I use the scripture, because that book is a powerful book in helping a person to acquire knowledge. I won't lie to you. Proverbs chapter 24, verse 4. I just want to, read it here. I don't know whether you can see it. I'm sure you can see it. Okay. Proverbs chapter 24, verse 4. What does it say? It says that through knowledge, its rooms are filled with rare and beautiful treasures. Okay, through knowledge. Okay, its rooms are filled. Oh goodness, I love this. That is why lack of knowledge, my people perish. Through knowledge. So if you can ever, I want to just take to the New King James. Okay, that makes it even interesting. Through knowledge, not through money. By knowledge, the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. Well, by knowledge. And so it's not what a person, it's not by working. It's not by going to job before you can have wealth. No, it's by knowledge. That is the only time a person can gain what? Wealth. It's by knowledge. Okay. So when the person really, really has knowledge, that person will gain a lot of the wealth that you'll be looking for. By knowledge, the rooms are filled. So see, naturally, the human mind has the capacity to answer life questions. But the human mind must be supplied and renewed with a new knowledge. Romans chapter 12, verse 2 says that don't conform yourself to this age. Okay? It said that, be transformed by making your mind over, or be transformed by renewal of your mind. Check Romans 12 to you notice that. Okay? He said, be transformed by making your mind over. And this was also highlighted in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 23. It said that be renewed in the spirit of your mind. Okay, sometimes it says in the force actuating your mind. And then that is when he said that put on a new personality created in the image of God in righteousness. See, be transformed by the renewal of your mind. What does renew mean? Renew means to supply again a new type of something. Renew. It means to supply again a new type of something. A new knowledge opens new frontiers. See, when you learn, when you learn, you break the norm and create a new paradigm. I'm telling you. When forces of life push you, as it will, it will. The inner citadel of knowledge you built will hold you. I want to repeat that. When the forces of life beat you up, just kick you away, push you, as it will, by all means, you will face that. I'm saying that the inner citadel of knowledge that you have learned, you have built, will hold you. I have learned that you can't be in this world and not be affected by the world. But by your knowledge, you will always be victorious. There's a lady called Marianne Williamson. Marianne Williamson. Okay? That woman, she spoke volumes of our godly nature. She said something. Okay? She said that, I wrote it somewhere, I want to quote. She says that our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. I want to repeat that. Your deepest fear is not because you are inadequate. Your deepest fear is that, you are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. It is our light. Your playing small doesn't serve the world, though. There is nothing enlightened about you shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. No, we are all meant to shine as children. You are meant to shine as children. I am meant to shine as, it's not just in some of us, it's in everyone, I'm telling you. See, as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates other people. Don't you see that? When somebody is very, very enthusiastic about something, look at somebody like Ronaldo. Ronaldo recently joined a team known as Man United. Some of the players were not doing that well. But it's not like Ronaldo is the one that can make the team do well, but he's also the one that could make the team do well. Why? Because when he brought that enthusiasm, into the game, Lingard scored a goal. Some of the players who were not that zealous became zealous. So when you liberate yourself from your own fear, your presence will automatically liberate other people from their own fear. You are the citadel of knowledge. You are the one God is waiting to change. That everybody in your family will change. See, ladies and gentlemen, confidence is how people feel in your presence. It's not necessarily how you feel about yourself. Put that down. Confidence is how people feel in your presence. It's not necessarily how you feel about yourself. Effort is a common denominator. Everybody can apply it. Knowledge is a differentiator. There are several nuggets I'll bring to your consciousness next week and next 2 weeks and subsequent weeks. I will show you, in subsequent weeks, I will show you the power of the mind over muscles. That is called the transformational effect of knowledge and the metacognition of the mind. The metacognition of the mind. I'll show you. You'll be amazed. You will see that knowledge is the gateway to the world unseen. You will see that value is your entry ticket. I'll show you. Okay. Next week or next subsequent week, the concept of study. See, the concept of study, it extends beyond reading books, though. It includes the art of observation, being aware and learning from nature, your industry, the people around you, the result of your own action and inaction. I will show you in subsequent weeks to come. I'll show you the 5 levels of the concept of study, the 5 levels of the concept of study. It will blow your cerebral cortex. It will blow your mind. There are 2 categories of people you need to succeed in this life, in anything. 2 categories of people. I'll teach you those 2, but let me just mention them to you. One of them are people you need in order to build your value. One of them are people you need in order to build your value. The second are people who need you. They are your value receivers. You see, the people you need in your life to succeed are few. They are mentors, teachers, coaches. They are value providers, the people you need. For example, when you talk about a mentor is not your friend, though. Okay? A mentor is not your friend. A mentor is not just your role model. A mentor is a success partner who will hold you accountable to a series of disciplines that he is performing, so you model your life. These people impact you. They mold you. They are your greatest anchors to achieving anything in this world. What you desire. I will show you how to find a mentor. I will show you how to eat the brain of a mentor and become successful. Okay. Subsequent weeks, I'll teach you how to develop your value in obscurity, how to over-deliver premium value before decision makers and influencers even get to know about it. I'll show you. I'll show you how to make your value abundantly scarce. I'll let you know on all of this. I'm just hitting the surfaces. Take note, no nation can grow with a begging economy. Listen, work, like the jobs we do, it is the most difficult productive activity in the wealth creation equation. Well, job, work. Okay, it is the most difficult productive activity when it talks about wealth creation. The truth is this, and a lot of people don't know. Wealthy men negotiate, middle class men they bargain, and poor men beg. Poor men are the only people who beg, and the reason is because they don't have knowledge. When we talk about poor, we are not talking about money. We are talking about knowledge, poor in knowledge. In the subsequent days coming, I'm going to be sharing creative ways to navigate an economy that is in a recession, because most of our African economies are in a recession, and then you will know how to generate mega wealth from even a recession. Do you know that a lot of people in this COVID-19 have made a lot of income already? It is called knowledge. They are leveraging on the knowledge. You're going to learn the 3 levels of exchange in the wealth equation. I'll teach you how to start and finish 2022 on a wealthy note, and then you will calibrate for 2023. I'll bring to your consciousness how to defeat disbelief and the negative power it creates. I'm going to do all of this. It's free, but you will later see that it was worth even your income. You will see those who believe they can move mountains can truly move mountains. You will know. See, a lot of people don't know this. Let me show you. Belief triggers the power to do. Belief triggers the power to do. Without unwavering belief that man can travel in space, without that, our scientists will not have the courage to do so. I will show you how to make your own mind produce positive thoughts. Some people discuss something small, then they want to collapse. I'll show you. I'll teach you that wealth is God's concept. Wealth is God's concept. It's not man's concept. That the concept of wealth is part of your divine nature. It is your exclusive right as a creature of God to be wealthy, not in monetary terms. I will introduce you to the right foundation of wealth creation and teach you how to lend yourself into wealth. And I will reveal to you business strategies and solutions that will set you apart from the mind of several other people. Let me see, there are lots of things to learn when it comes to the word of knowledge. Finally, I will show you, I'll bring to your consciousness how to vaccinate yourself against exquisiteness. I want you to write that word down. Exquisiteness. Exquisiteness. EXCUSITIS. I will bring to your consciousness how to vaccinate yourself. What is exquisiteness? Exquisiteness is that mind-deadening thought disease. It's a mind-deadening thought disease. A lot of people, their mind is a disease. It's more dangerous than cancer. A lot of people don't know. I will show you how to vaccinate yourself against it. You see, every failure has this disease in it at advanced stage. At advanced stage of this disease, every failure has this. And most average persons have a mild case of this disease. I'm going to show you the 4 positive steps to lick health exquisiteness. You will discover why your own thinking power is more important than mere intelligence. I'll show you. Your own thinking power is more important than mere intelligence. I've been telling most professors, they don't get it. I will show you how to master 3 ways to cure intelligence exquisiteness and master your memory. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 3 levels of knowledge: revelational knowledge, theoretical knowledge, experiential knowledge. I'll dissect these. Okay. Yes, I just want you to know the taste of what is here to come. I will dissect this, why and how you should gain these things. The processes of knowledge. You will know that knowledge is not just power, it is profit. Let me tell you something, okay? And I'm about to conclude by telling you something very deep, and that is a little bit controversial, okay? In order to set the stage of what is here to come, I'm going to share something with you. Do you know what you should love about wealth? Do you know what you should love when it comes to wealth? I want to pose that question. I want to pose that question because I'm going to my next slide. Do you know what you should love about wealth? A lot of people don't know. Okay, let me share something with you.